Good afternoon, Algebra. I'm back. I haven't taught a lesson for a while, so I feel like I've disconnected with you a little. Bunch of directions. This is going to be an ed puzzle. The homework for today is 12 questions. Now, I'm going to do half of them on this ed puzzle. If you get an okay score on this ed puzzle, you only have to do the evens on the homework. Okay? Because I'm going to do the odds right now. But let's say you do this ed puzzle and you get 40%. Obviously, you need to do all of them and you need to zoom in with us so we can help you do them correctly, because obviously you're having some troubles. So again, I'm going to do the odds. I'm going to walk through them. I'm going to do most of the question, then you're going to give the answer. And if you can give the correct answers on this ed puzzle, you only have to do the evens on the homework assignment. So we'll see how complicated that seems. If it confuses you, send us an email, Google Hangout with us, do something, connect with us so you know what you're doing. Okay, so we're kind of doing backwards distributive. Backwards distributive means you're taking something out of the terms and putting it back in front of the parentheses. So this first one, I'm going to do the whole thing. Not even going to ask you to answer anything on this one. So there's an 8k squared and a 10. So I look at those two things and I think, okay, what is in both of them that I could divide out of both the 8 and the 10? And I'm hoping you see it's a 2. That's way too thick. I'm going to thin my line. A 2. Because I can take a 2 out of 8 and I can take out a 2 out of 10. So now I make this parentheses and I think, okay, if I take 8 and I divide it by 2, I have a 4 left. And I still have the k squared. If I take the 10 and divide it by 2, I get a 5. I'm going to use my magic pen to correct it because I don't really want it to stay on here. To correct it, you would do the distributive property. Okay, so you go 2, let me change the color so you can see it's different. 2 times 4 is 8k squared, okay? 2 times 5 is 10. Is that the same as what you started with? Oh, shucks. Is that the same as what you started with? Yes. So you did it right. So it's backwards distributive. And some of you are going to be, it's going to go really easy. It's going to just take you a moment to do these. But you have to go through the entire ed puzzle to get credit for attendance. So you got to stay with me 5 minutes. So I'm skipping to number 3. I look at the number 20 and I look at the number 8. And I think, what's a number that can come out of those two? A 4. If you take a 4 out of those two, what would you have left? I hope you chose a 5, an m squared, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. I hope you got that one right. Next one, number 5. Look at the 12 and the 4. What number could you take out of both of those? Try it. I hope you chose 4. So if you take a 4 out of 12, you'd have a 3k squared left. Now here's tricky. If you take a 4 out of 4, what do you have left? Not a 0, you have a 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. That's probably the place where the biggest mistakes happen. People think, oh, it's all gone, nothing left. Okay, we're up to number 7 already. Okay, now I have 3 things, so I have to look at all 3 things. What's a number I can take out of a 6, a 9, and a 15? Okay, if you said 3, you were correct. So take 3 out of negative 6, you have a negative 2n cubed left. Divide a 3 out of the 9, you have 3n left. Take a 3 out of negative 15, you have a negative 5 left. Okay, that was 7, 2 left. You try this one. Okay, I'm hoping you saw that you could take 4. technically we'd like to take a negative, so I'm just gonna do this one for you. It should be, if you take a negative 4 out of 12, you'd have a 3 left. If you take a negative 4 out of that one, you'd have a negative 3n. If you took a negative 4 out of this thing, you'd have a positive 5n to the 5th. Now at this stage, if you took a positive 4 out, I would give you credit. If you took a positive 4 out, then your answer would have been negative 3 plus 3n plus 5n to the 5th. Why do I prefer this one? Because we always like the term with the biggest power to be positive. That's kind of a picky thing. At this stage of what you're doing, we will accept either answer. Okay, one more. Now, this one I'm going to tell you because they're all negative. We'd really prefer you to take a negative number out of everything. Again, if you take a positive number out of it, I will accept it. But we would prefer the negative. So I'm going to take a negative. I'm going to take a negative 5. Take a negative 5 out of negative 45, I get 9 left. Take a negative 5 out of negative 45m, I get a positive 9m. Take a negative 5 out of negative 45, I'd get another 9. This one's m squared. Take a negative 5 out of negative 20, I get 4m cubed. I was kind of wish I wouldn't have put that one on there, but I did it for you. That's the correct answer. Yeah. So if you look at your score now and you get like 80% correct, no, I take that back. If you do this and we'll go 70% correct, you only have to do the evens. If you did worse than 70%, you should probably do them all. Or if you didn't pay any attention to this ed puzzle, you better do all of them and then we'll contact you. Hang in there. We kind of missed all the calamity we had in class. And I think if it came down to it, you do too, because we kind of liked all of the craziness that happens in class. And we miss that. But you got to learn enough so that next year, when you go into fundamentals, you are okay. And you feel like, yeah, I know enough algebra. I will be okay to get to my high school degree. So hang in there, everybody. We'll talk later.